Elma and his team can be seen fighting Yumiani's. Elma gathers the monster at one point, and meanwhile Celt targets the monster's swaying eyeballs, impressing Elma with his accuracy, but it looks like Maybell isn't leaving a chance to roast him. As the fight goes on, Celt tells Elma to not rely on Luz for finishing blows, as the jester handles things with speed and rapid attacks, which against a high defense Yumioni wouldn't work, but Luz uses her dagger, which sends the monster flying, as she also receives 446 experience points. Elma explains that while in the Cemetery of Sorrows, her role was to attract enemies, but her main role is the attacker. Watching this, monsters rush to attack Luz, but Maybell diverted their towards herself, which helps Elma and Luz to finish it off. Celt also helps to eradicate one of the monsters that was sneaking behind Luz. Elma praises Celt for the help. After the fight, everyone is thankful to be alive, as the monsters were level 69, but with sensory numbness, they were quite formidable enemies. Celt praises Elma and Luz for having experience points of the charts. Elma reveals that because of Luz's small body, her explosive powers are suppressed a bit, but with her agility, she can adapt to it with no conditional restrictions. After the fight, Luz calls everyone, telling them that the monsters have dropped an item. When everyone sees the strange item, which looks like a potion, Elma tells them that those are seized tear, which is a material used for special potions. Moreover, it can also be used as a recovery potion. Elma also tells Celt to not touch it much and keep it in a bag. Celt wonders if it is poisonous, but Elma tells him that it's worth 600 million G each. Surprising Celt, as Elma doesn't look that excited for such a huge amount. Suddenly, a woman appears, telling Elma that he has become the center of everyone's attention sooner than expected. The woman complains whenever he appears, he starts overshadowing the young lady's achievements, while the young lady glares at them. Elma and Luz are confused about what that woman is saying, when the woman, whose name seems to be Isabella, asks the lady if she should speak to her, but the lady stops her. The lady takes a long sigh and tells Elma and Luz for helping them and for their hospitality. Also, she apologizes for her father's demeanor at the reception, but soon gets distracted by Celt, who is shocked to see the young lady of halted family. Celt engages with Elma, while the lady gets all shy and hides behind Isabella, who talks for her. Isabella gets rude with Elma and his companions and tells them they are only merely there for making up the numbers, and leaves. Later, the heroes go to a submerged ideal city recommended for level 80 adventurers. Luz weirded out how creepy that place was. The objective of this large-scale request is to stain out the monsters and destroy the morning trapezohedron. Once that's done, everyone gets to defeat the Dream Lord. Elma walks towards the city, as he reveals that Harleen said there's a traitor likely among this raid, and as he discussed before, he is going to find him. Elma reveals that they will go straight to the chambers of the Dream Lord and will block anyone else approaching, to prevent another occurrence of the Wandering Lord. The Halthood soldiers have been keeping watch for over half a day. The sunken ideal city is still mostly unexplored by the adventurers, and maps are very rough. However, this doesn't concern Elma and his team, as they are here to stop the traitor and directly meet the Dream Lord. As they walk, Elma asks Maybell if she can get some points through Yumioni, but Maybell tells them not even a single point, as they were weak. Elma tells the team that they should avoid such monsters and target bigger threats that the team could handle. Moreover, Maybell asks him why he is already filling the path they haven't seen yet, to which Elma replies that there are patterns and constraints in generation routes of Dream Hole. Even if it's random, it won't result in inconsistent terrain, and special places like the Dream Lord's chamber will have a certain distance from the entrance. It's a little like a puzzle. If they have confirmed information for 30% of the whole picture, they can naturally infer the 20%. Luz gets closer and says the obvious, that if they follow the said route, they reach the Dream Lord chamber in the shortest time. As they walk through an alley, Elma alerts them that there will be a plaza ahead. The team gets ready to attack, but is surprised to see it empty. Suddenly, they get attacked by a large number of Yumioni. Elma tells them to go to a red building in order to shake it off. Luz hesitates at first, but leaves everything to him. Elma tries to fend off the monsters. A monster attacks, but he successfully dodges it and finishes the monster. The remaining monsters rush to attack, so Elma runs away, while Celt shoots his arrows from the distance and helps in fending off the monsters. Afterwards, they realize they have reached closer to the Dream Lord chamber. That's when Celt's sixth sense reacts, and he wants to examine the nearby areas. Listening to him, Elma tells Celt to lead the way. As they go, Elma reveals that he wants to level up Maybell at least 2 times before they enter the chamber of Dream Lord. While walking, Celt gets disappointed after finding morning trapezohedron and suddenly gets drowned by a mermaid kind of monster. The group is shocked to see that monster, and Elma also is surprised to see a monster he has not seen before. Seeing how shallow the water is, Elma comes to the conclusion that it must be an evolved form of mermaid which phases through ground. Elma tells everyone to fight the creature, but it seems like Celt's arm has been paralyzed because of the monster's attack. Elma initially thought to heal Celt, but stops because they can get attacked from anywhere, so he tells the group to regroup and fight. The monster attacks Luz, but thanks to Celt's quick thinking, Maybell is able to fend off the creature. Seeing this, Elma knows that adjusting his HP while fighting with a paralysis monster is dangerous, and it's hard to use his main ability as well. Celt tells them that he will mark the places from where the monster will appear. Celt informs the group with monster arrival, and Elma rushes to attack the monster with parry and send the monster flying with shield bash. Meanwhile, Luz appears to take care of the monster, but the monster creates an illusion of itself, hence confusing Luz. She still tries to attack but gets injured instead. Elma is tense to know that the monster uses paralysis, stealth, and illusions as well, and worries that Celt was already down and now Luz as well. Paralysis stops the body from moving, which also decreases the speed, and escaping from here is a no-go. Maybell tries to heal Luz, but the monster attacks her from right below her. Just in time, Elma uses his Shadow Stump ability, causing the monster to freeze at one point. Celt tells Maybell to heal Luz first, which she does. The monster attacks Elma, but he successfully blocks its strike. As the monster attacks, Elma notices that the monster is smiling and goes behind, which indicates that it might know Shadow Stomp weakness. If a heavy knight without speed gets paralyzed, they are just a sitting target. So in order to outsmart the monster, Elma releases the Shadow Stomp charges straight towards the monster. Monster sees the opportunity to hide in the ground, but Elma again traps her in Shadow Stomp. The monster makes a desperate attempt to attack, but gets hit with a shield bash, which sends the monster flying, but unfortunately the clever monster counters with earth swimming. Elma thinks that even 4 of them can't launch a single critical hit. Fortunately, Luz also appears to join the fight after being healed. Luz tells him that she is planning to wipe him with Dragon Slayer Thrust. However, Elma reminds her about the illusion, but Luz seems to be confident about her abilities. Elma also advises her to stop hesitating before attacking with Dragon Slayer. Dragon Slayer Thrust is a skill that allows for stable critical hits by concentrating and sharpening the mind. It is a skill that allows for stable critical hits. With Luz's raw attack power, she can't deal significant damage. Defeating this evil creature without Dragon Slayer Thrust would be difficult. Elma thinks that he needs to restrain the monster with Shadow Stomp. Suddenly, Maybell screams that it will be better to see if it's an illusion or not. Afterwards, Celt tells Luz that it's going to attack her, and the monster rushes to attack with her doppelgangers, confusing Luz again, until Maybell uses her wide-range spell, causing the monster illusion to disappear. Seeing the opportunity, Elma attacks the monster while Luz delivers the final blow. Elma has Shadow Stomp the monster while it's taking its last breaths. Elma tells Maybell to finish off the monster, but she hesitates when the monster tries to attack. Elma shields it towards Maybell, and she finishes it off, causing her to level up to 64 and gain 2,048 points. Maybell thinks she bothers everyone, but Elma tells her that it doesn't bother him a bit, since last time he was guilty that she couldn't get any points before. Celt also reveals that he is okay since she wasn't able to get much points in the Cemetery of Sorrows. Maybell is still hesitant to get points 10 times more than average until Luz tells the squad that she has found a dropped item. Upon seeing the drop item is a mermaid bracelet from Deep Sea Country imbued with strong mermaid magic, gives resistance to the wearer from water attributes and paralysis. Elma reveals that you can't wear more than 2 bracelets, and even if you do, only 2 bracelets with high capabilities will work. Meanwhile, Celt is shocked to see that the bracelet cost 43 million gold. However, Elma tells him that they should focus on the usefulness of the item rather than its cost, but Celt disagrees that they should focus on its price. Luz gives the bracelet to Maybell as she was the one to defeat the monster. Elma also agrees that they also got the high-value item last time, now she deserves one as well. Maybell is shocked to see how nonchalant Elma and Luz are and calls them desensitized. Celt tells Elma they need to go for more monster hunt, while Luz makes Maybell wear the bracelet as it will be helpful for them if her magic power increases. They ask Maybell to increase the points in her Staff of Faith. Suddenly, Celt's expression changes, and he tells the team he heard someone's footsteps approaching them. Elma tells everyone to be attentive as many people lose more lives to each other than monsters in the dungeon. The group is ready to attack, but it's revealed the person is no other than Kalos himself. The team relaxes, and Kalos also takes a sigh of relief, worried, thinking they are the traitors. The group says if it's him who defeated the Skull Lord, then they can trust him. However, Elma doesn't seem much trusting of him. Kalos tells them he is surprised to see them that deep in no time, to which Elma replies they used a shortcut from the mapped route, and because of Celt's sixth sense. Elma asks him about Hild and others and why they are not with him. Kalos tells them that he has a detection spell called Presence Sense, which helps him to find those ahead of him. Kalos also adds that the traitor adventurer seems to be very strong, so he told them to call for other parties as he scouted ahead, and he found Elma and his group. Luz suddenly pointed out that Kalos is supposed to have sixth sense, which they also confirmed from Hildy. Elmo also thinks that having a detection spell for a swordsman is a weird build. Kalos gets nervous and tells them that he wasn't trying to deceive them, but was reluctant to disclose his skill. That's when Zelt remembered that Kalos was helping nobles to track frequent strange incidents and how he wasn't able to detect that eerie crystal. This makes Kalos a suspect as he doesn't have anything to say in his favor. Kalos tries to reason with Elma, but from his expression, it doesn't look like he is hearing any of his yap as he attacks Kalos. Kalos tries to explain that he is not the traitor and did not cause the Wandering Lord to appear at the center of the sorrows. He insists that anyone can vouch for him. However, Elma declares that he will not be fooled, as he already knows about Kalos's alibi trick. Elma reveals that through Harlan, he confirmed no one appeared suspicious during the incident. From that moment, Elma developed a hypothesis. Someone might have lied about detecting abnormalities using a skill they didn't actually possess in order to conceal their true abilities. That person may have wanted everyone in the party to see the anomaly before taking action. It's possible that there was someone guiding the other members from within. Kalos testifies that he and his party witnessed the wandering of the king and that he stayed behind to cover their escape. But the truth was different. Kalos had lied to his comrades, claiming that he sensed the Wandering Lord with his sixth sense and stayed behind to protect them. In reality, he had provoked the Skull Lord, triggering the Wandering Lord himself, all as part of a trap to confirm something related to Hild. This, however, remains a hypothesis built on top of another hypothesis. Elma believes that openly expressing such doubts would only increase the anxiety of Kelt and the others. But encountering Kalos at this critical moment turned Elma's suspicion into certainty. As a final test, Elma intentionally slipped up and mentioned that Hild had a sixth sense, something that only the real traitor would respond to. Kalos's reaction confirmed it. Elma then screams that Kalos is the traitor, and everyone immediately charges at him. Elma also reveals that Kalos has been setting traps for senior adventurers under the guise of red investigations, offering them as sacrifices to the Dream Lords all along. Despite their combined attack, Kalos easily overwhelms them, showcasing his overwhelming power. Then he reveals a darker side of himself, shocking everyone. Kalos attacks Luce while laughing maniacally, but she fortunately manages to defend herself. Elma explains that during the investigation, he had always felt something was off. Kalos had been relentless in trying to convince him that the string of incidents was merely the result of internal struggles within the Marquis family. Although there were suspicious elements, there was no decisive evidence. What truly unsettled Elma was the way Kalos spoke about the future of the kingdom and the role of adventurers, and above all, the way he interacted with his apprentice. It didn't seem like an act, which made Elma hesitate to distrust him completely. Elma had wanted to believe in Kalos, so he asked him directly. Adventurers are supposed to be the freest people in the world, possessing wealth, power, and fame. So what was Kalos's true motive? Kalos then reveals his worldview. He claims that the world is filled with dream holes. He rips open his shirt, exposing a strange mark, and declares that the creator god Arzaroth laments the logic and tragedies of this world. Kalos explains that he will remain until the court of gods decides to raise humanity, beings created by the gods, by destroying the current world and returning everything to nothingness. The dream gods, he claims, are messengers of the creator. His mission is to become the savior of the world, and that is the true purpose of the dream restriction. Luce asks if he's lying, and even Telt struggles to believe that Kalos could be such a madman. Kalos then tells Elma that he always knew the day would come when they would have to fight. With a wicked smile, he summons two massive balls of fire. Elma felt a strange sense of discomfort coming from Kalos. It was as if Kalos had become intoxicated by his own self-image, consumed by an illusion of grandeur. Elma sensed that Kalos fundamentally lacked genuine interest in the matters he spoke of. There was an emptiness within him, as though he were merely repeating beliefs and words he had heard from others. That, Elma realized, was the unsettling, divine aura he had felt from Kalos earlier. Elma then revealed to the others that he didn't care about the organization behind Kalos. Most likely, Kalos was simply chasing his final goal, a place or moment where he could fully unleash the power and influence he had accumulated. Elma asked him directly if he actually enjoyed fighting. Kalos smiled and admitted that he did, telling Elma to do his best to entertain him. With that, Kalos hurled massive fireballs toward the party. Elma quickly warned the others that this was not a normal attack. It was a tracking-based skill, one that could track its targets even behind cover. The group took shelter behind nearby obstacles, trying their best to evade the assault. However, it quickly became clear that Mabel was struggling. Just as she was about to be hit, Telt rushed in and saved her. Kalos watched the scene with growing excitement and praised their efforts, clearly thrilled by the challenge. Elma's distrust of Kalos deepened. This man was once seen as a hero, even among the elite A-rank adventurers, a beacon of strength and hope. But now Elma realized the painful truth. No matter how many allies they had, the difference in power between them and Kalos was so vast that they could barely hope to land a meaningful blow. A direct hit from Kalos would be fatal. Elma had already considered the terrifying possibility that the hero admired by all. Once hailed as humanity's light, might in fact be the worst criminal to ever threaten the land. Suddenly, Kalos launched an attack at Luz. She narrowly dodged it using her double illusion technique. As the two clashed, another party member jumped in to defend Luz with her shield, but the force of Kalos' next strike sent her flying. Kalos advanced on Luz again, but this time was stopped by LMS's Shadow Stump. Luz followed up with her Dragon Slayer thrust, but it barely made an impact. Then, Kalos activated his half-dead Savage Dragon ability, a terrifying transformation that enhanced his speed and power. He rushed forward, aiming straight at Luz. Surprisingly, Kalos was momentarily taken aback by her resilience. The unexpected resistance only made the fight more thrilling for him. His grin widened and his bloodlust deepened as the battle reached a new level of intensity.